Hi, I hope you're well and having a good day where you are. We're looking at Charlie Porter's Lyrical Etudes book. This is number 13, and this was in G flat major, our favorite key, 6 flats. Now, the interesting thing about all Charlie's Etudes is he moves through a lot of different harmonic progressions. As I said before, they're quite improvisational, and that's what I like about them, and you should try and play them improvisationally. So I'm going to play through this, and I'm going to try and get through it on flugelhorn because I need the practice because I'm not used to playing this instrument as much as my C. And then maybe I'll go back and look at it on the C trumpet as well. Now, the character of a particular instrument, like the flugelhorn or the cornet, let's say, or your regular trumpet, the instrument has its own kind of personality. You should be able to play any kind of musical personality through the instrument, but the instrument definitely makes some things easier. And I feel like some music fits certain instruments better. That's why a lot of people like the flugelhorn, the beautiful warmth of the sound. So I'm going to play it, and you may have your preferences. You might like one more than another, but I'll just see if I can get through and play in 6 flats. Here we go. Trouble seeing here. Ooh, that has some nice gliding, flying gestures to it. A lot of fun. Now I'm going to try it again, but on the C trumpet. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about some of the issues for me, and that a lot of people find playing flugelhorn. Since I have this wonderful instrument, which is vintage, and if you play a modern instrument, most modern instruments are generally better in tune than the older ones. They're more even. As you change register, it's a little bit smoother and much easier to control to play. So to play an instrument like this one, I have to kind of fit myself to the instrument. There are a lot of pitch problems, as I said, and there are a lot of problems, challenges in terms of keeping the sound musical and fluid and balanced all the way through. So I have to adapt myself to it. I'm not going to get into the details, that's for another day maybe, but in any case, it does get in my way. And in other ways, it helps. So gliding between the notes, that kind of fluid, continuous sound, in some ways that's easier than it is on my C trumpet. Let me go ahead and play that on the C trumpet just for comparison, back-to-back comparison. Oh, my C trumpet is so much easier to play, and yet I love the sound of the flugelhorn. So this is life. It's a compromise. You can't have everything you want. You just try and find the best, the best balance of things, of good things, and go with it. Make the music that you can. Now, I thought that that would be more difficult, but since I'm so much more accustomed to my C trumpet, even though this is a new C trumpet, and I'm still getting used to it, but I hardly ever play flugelhorn. So this is a really good exercise for me to do. And I realized, wow, that didn't sound too bad. And it sounded pretty smooth, so I guess I just proved myself wrong there. But a lot of it has to do with how comfortable you are with the instrument you play. So some players, like my friend Gus Sebring in the BSO, who's principal horn now, and has been in the orchestra for many, many years. Beautiful, beautiful player, one of my favorite players in the orchestra. And the advantage that he has is he plays the same instrument all the time. In other words, you learn the instrument. You become intimate with the feeling of how it works, the sounds you can produce on the instrument. With a trumpet player, especially if you're going to an audition, you might have to play 5 or 6 different instruments. You know, piccolo trumpet, rotary trumpet, E-flat trumpet, C trumpet, B-flat trumpet. Who knows what they may ask you to play. And sometimes that gets very confusing. So my advice is, if all you own is a B-flat trumpet, which I did until I was right as I graduated from conservatory. I didn't have a C trumpet all the way through school until the very end. But I got by, and so can you. Now, if you have a lot of instruments, then use them. That's what I'm trying to do now. So I'll be switching up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to go to D trumpet or not, but we'll see. Now, as I play through, what is easier on flugelhorn? Well, I said the smoothness. Well, maybe that's not true. But what is easier for me is I like the sound. So my body kind of relaxes. And I need to learn to like the sound of the trumpet more. There's a great jazz player named Darren Barrett, who's was a colleague of mine for many years at Berkeley, rather. Still teaches at Berkeley, I believe. And I was working with him one time, and I said, you know, I really like the sound of the horn better than the trumpet. And that's why a lot of people like flugelhorn. And he said, oh, no, the trumpet's like the voice of an angel. And that really made me pause, right? And think, yeah, I need to think more of it like that. So I'm going to play a little bit on C trumpet and see how it works. I'll try and play through the whole thing. I hope you won't mind. Okay, so one reason why I like to do these videos is because I don't edit the playing. I don't know how, so that makes it easy for me. And I just do the best I can. So it's always a mixture of things that I thought, oh yeah, that's what I want, and then things that are less quality than what I wanted. So you heard when I went up into the upper register, and for those of you who have the music, this is bar 23. Where it goes from the A in the staff to the B above the staff. On a C trumpet, that's one of the disadvantages. If you're playing it as written, now you're a step higher. So, and that can give people issues. So I'm going to try that spot again, which I think is one of the more challenging spots in the piece. I have a little trouble with this. I'm going to start the pickup to the piumoso. And I don't think I ever did piumoso on either one of those times through, but I'll try and do it this time. So we're going in this tempo. Now here's where you can really do yourself a favor. One of the things that Charlie talks about is hearing the quality of every note. And I can hear the quality on that B is not so great. I was forcing a little bit. I didn't trust it. I got tight and I jammed the mouthpiece a little bit. I got the note, but it wasn't musical. It didn't have a good quality of sound to it. So I'm going to go work on that. Now, there's a caveat to this. If you're having physical difficulty playing in that register with a good sound, then you don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. You want to build the machine, as Herbert Clark would say, build it up, not tear it down, until it's fun and easy for you to play in that register. When that's the case, if you feel not like, oh, I can do this, but like this is fun and it's easy, then you can play these, then you can work in this way. And the way I do it is I just sustain notes. I mentioned this in many other episodes, but it works for me. So I'll give you an example. I'm just going to start randomly here. I'm still a little tight on the B. The reason is I don't have enough breath. So I've been playing and concentrating. And wait a minute, let me give myself a little bit of help here. So now I'm starting to feel like, oh, I feel like that's a good swing. You know, like a golf swing or swinging at a baseball. Oh, that was a good swing. That felt good. That's really very similar to what we're doing. Only what we're doing is swinging with the air, I guess you might say. That sounds like it might be an album title. Maybe it is. At any rate, when you're practicing these things, look for the enjoyment. And I realize there are many, many obstacles, and I've let you hear a couple of them, but I also tried to give you a good musical performance. So the moral of the story is very simple. You have to have the skill in order to play the music. The skill takes a tremendous amount of dedication. If the dedication is to the music and not to your ego, if it's to producing the beauty that you hear in your musical imagination, or wanting to emulate what you hear someone else do when they play in terms of the musical communication and the quality of their craftsmanship, you get excited about that, there might be something in you that needs to express itself. So if that's the case, don't compare yourself to others. Just keep working to improve what you've got, and you'll be a lot happier. And I hope to see you next time when you have a few moments to spend with me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.